Hello, Ladislas Maurice from thewanderinginvestor.com. So today we're going to do something which is quite fun. So we're in Bocas del Toro in Panama. We're on the Caribbean side of Panama, and we're going to go check out a very nice house with its own spaces for boat, beautiful views, etc. on almost an acre of land on a little island 15 minutes away from the main island by boat. So why are we going to look at this? Well, it's because Panama actually has a lot of different places you can choose to live. So there's Panama City, then you can go into the mountains in Boquete and enjoy some really fresh weather. But if you want that Caribbean lifestyle, it's also possible to have this here in Panama, and English is widely spoken around here as well. So if you're not into Spanish, etc., and you want to have an easy life, this is an interesting option. You get to live in Panama. It's easy to obtain residency here by making an investment in real estate or a term deposit, and then you can live in Panama and benefit from a territorial tax system, which means that in most cases, if you structure things properly, and if you're not a US person, you don't get taxed on worldwide income, so essentially income from outside of Panama. And generally, why am I going to show this? It's because it's possible to have this Caribbean lifestyle here in Panama with very good infrastructure and at a fraction of what you would typically pay on the normal Caribbean islands. And the infrastructure is a lot better here as well. You're just a 1-hour flight away from Panama City. So if you need to get anything done in a big, large city, it's like a very short internal flight away. So it offers the best of all the worlds, essentially. Caribbean, low tax, first world infrastructure, and the whole lifestyle that goes with it. So we're gonna hop onto a little boat with my buddy here, JB, who's been living here for, 25 years or so. And we're gonna go check out this house. All right, JB, let's do this.
All right, ready?
Where's my beer?
Everybody ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Can you go slower?
All right, this is it. So 3/4 of an acre, 2 spots for boats, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Gorgeous. JB, the world's happiest realtor.
Live in paradise.
JB, how are you?
Hey, Ned, how you doing? Welcome to the top of the world.
Gosh, beautiful. So typically, JB, it's like blue Caribbean water, right?
It's exactly that way. It's a little rain today. We've got a little blue sky right here. But yeah, usually it's clear water, clear skies.
Stunning. Gosh. So yeah, compare this with the view you would have from your condo in Toronto. I don't mean to be condescending of your condo in Toronto, but this is really, really beautiful. So we're just gonna go through the property really quickly. Again, this is not a channel where we just do like property viewings, but just to kind of see the sort of value that one can get overall when buying here in Bocas del Toro. So, you know, it even has a little swimming pool, which is cool, a little hammock down there. So personally, I'd get the gardener to chop these things. So then you have a nice view of the bay. Great. And the house. So yeah, that was a 20-minute ride from Bocas del Toro. So essentially, in what, JB, in half an hour, you get from here to the airport, right?
That's correct. You can do that, and it's the island of, it's a Colón, is the main island of Bocas del Toro, and that's 20 minutes. From here to there is 20 minutes.
20 minutes, and then 10 minutes to go to the airport. You need to get there in, like, what, an hour before the flight?
That's exactly right.
And then it's 50 minutes to Panama City, so essentially from here,
50 minutes, yeah.
You are sitting right here, you're finishing off the final sip of your beer, and you're like, I have to go. 2.5 hours later, you're in Panama City, one of the nicest, most developed cities in Latin America. All of this whilst enjoying, possibly, if you're not a US person, possibly a tax-free lifestyle if you decide to reside here. So this is what makes this interesting. It's not just the fact that it's just a bit over $500,000. It's the fact that it comes with residency rights, not just for yourself and your spouse, but also your children and also the grandparents. So 3 generations of people can all get together on this visa and drastically reduce their taxes if they structure things properly. Even for US people, you can get some interesting benefits. Not as interesting as if you're, you know, Canadian, for example, or European, but it's still worth it. So yeah, compare this, think of it, compare this with a condo. What's a better investment? So would I go venture into this? Like, JB, would you say this is a good rental property, or is this more just lifestyle? And
this property has actually been rented out on Airbnb a lot. And, and the owner prefers to be here and rent out the rooms, and does that on quite a few occasions.
Okay, so he stays in like the main bedroom and rents out some of the bedrooms.
That's correct.
Okay, cool. All right, I mean, there's always a way of making cash from a property in a location like this. Personally, I wouldn't venture into this as a investment property just like for rentals, just because of the logistics of trying to deal with it and trying to coordinate people and all of that with the boats and the whole situation. I would see it as a just diversification. It's overall very decent value. So when you compare it with properties on the other Caribbean islands, you know, Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos, et cetera, all these islands, this is objectively a lot more affordable. It's in a country that in many ways has better infrastructure, where it's bigger, has more to offer. It's not just a tiny island. You're just around the corner from a large international city with decent banking, etc. So there's a lot to be said about Panama as a jurisdiction. And, you know, in times of kind of chaos and uncertainty, I don't think that this is the type of property that will lose a lot of value. This is a cash market, right? Like, there are no mortgages, JB, here, right?
It's cash, and it's nice not to have a mortgage payment.
Yeah, so it's a cash market, so it means that when the Federal Reserve or the central bank in Canada raise their interest rates, it doesn't really have an impact on the market here. So counterintuitively, this property in times of recession will probably go down less in price than your Vancouver condo. Very nice. Cool. JB, thanks for showing the house around. It's lovely.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So what type of people move here to Bocas del Toro?
Yeah, it's mostly, recently it's been the digital nomads. They can obviously work anywhere in the world, And why not work in the Caribbean if you get a chance to do that? So it's a much younger crowd coming down here now than compared to the retirees that we used to have. So that's a total switch as far as the type of people that are coming in. A lot of people make Microsoft wages here in Bocas, and that's a big, big plus.
Nice.
You can live nicely that way.
Yeah, because it's definitely a bit more expensive than the mainland in Panama.
Right. That's correct.
But it's not like the prices are crazy either. You can get a good burger in one of the cool spots for like $8-9.
Correct.
So, I mean, if you're earning 70 or 70,000 or 6 figures, you'll live here very well. Caribbean lifestyle, much cheaper than the typical Caribbean islands, and it'll be very, very comfortable. And you're right about the younger crowd. Because I came from Boquete, where I was also with people from your agency. So JB also has an agency in Boquete, and there it's a lot more retirees. There are a few entrepreneurs and digital nomads, but it's skewed towards retirees. Here it's skewed towards younger people, also younger families, and the internet is quite good. So last night I was uploading some stuff on YouTube, and it was relatively fast. So
That's so important to have here.
Exactly, because sometimes I travel in some areas and I can't upload. It's a problem. Here it wasn't an issue at all.
That's
and I'm
good.
a heavy user.
Well, going back to what you were saying about more expensive, it's probably the most expensive place in Panama. Compared to the United States, Canada, or anything else, this is a very cheap place.
It is. It really is. And even compared to Panama City,
yeah,
this is the price of a nice condo in Panama City.
Right,
so either you get a nice condo in Panama City, which will be sitting empty most of the time because they overbuild in Panama City. I personally would not invest in real estate in Panama City, except if I wanted to live there. Even then, I might prefer to rent. But this here, I feel you get much better value for your money. You get something that really is truly unique. For young families, there's an international school as well, right?
That is correct, and that's a big factor in a lot of these younger people bringing their kids down now, because before they didn't do that, and there was a lot of digital nomads here, but their kids weren't here. And now, totally different, beautiful school. I believe it goes from it's called the Tangerine School. And it goes, I believe, from kindergarten up to maybe the 12th grade. And it's an accredited school, so you'd be able to take that and go to university or whatever. But the unique part about that is that there's all these students from all over the world.
Nice.
So your child might be able to pick up about 2 or 3 other different languages.
Very nice.
So that works out pretty well,
Very nice.
So.
And let's say, just in terms of convenience, let's say I buy this house, you and I are chilling, we're having a beer right here, and we get hungry for whatever reason, and I say, hey JB, let's get some sushi.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
So
what we do is,
what do you do? How does this work? Because I mean, we're literally on an island 20 minutes away from the main town.
Well, what you do is you call the cooperativa, the water taxi cooperativa. First off, you call like a sushi place or a pizza place, and you order a pizza and say, my driver will be there to pick it up. And so they cook the pizza and you get the sushi together, and the taxi driver goes over, picks it up, pays for it. We always pick the guys that have money, very important. And so they pay for it, and when they pick it up, and then they come back and we give them their usual fare back, and we're sitting here. They'll pick up beer. They'll pick up whatever else you need.
How much would that run cost?
Well, here in this place right here, it costs you about $15.
$15.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and they'll stop and pick you up some beer or some soft drinks or whatever.
Okay, so a bunch of stuff. They can do your grocery shopping essentially for $15.
Almost.
And bring it up, and you don't have to jump on the boat, deal with anything. You just sit here.
Right.
You can just watch YouTube or do whatever it is you do.
That's the key.
Okay.
It wasn't always like that, but it is now.
Cool. All right, so again, compared to a lot of the Caribbean islands out there, it's a lot more affordable. And again, it's a country with very decent infrastructure. There's a lot to do in Panama, which is not the case with a lot of these other Caribbean islands. So this is in many ways, it's a bit of a secret. It's quite known on the digital nomad / backpacker
Yeah.
kind of space. Like I was walking yesterday evening, and there were these like cool hostels, tons of young people.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but in terms of people looking for a plan B, or who just want to, just chill and reduce their over tax rate, it's not quite there yet on the map.
That's good, and that's right, and we kind of like that. It's kind of like the fact there's no cruise ships that come in here, and if they do, they anchor out. But cruise ships this is not Cancun. It's never going to be Cancun. If it ever did turn into Cancun, a lot of us would leave. I'm sure, but it really is. It's a rustic, true every day's an adventure kind of place. It's like I said, you and I were talking earlier, you can be as social as you want to be here, or you can be as reclusive as you want to be here. And that's a big factor to a lot of people, and a lot of people can moderate that, and it's a wonderful life.
And you don't really even need Spanish to survive, correct?
I've been here 20 years, and I'm not proud to say, but I'm not fluent. I can go anywhere, do anything I want to do, but I am not fluent. English is the dominant language here. Actually, I think English is almost the first language in Spanish, then Spanish.
And a common issue with island living is just access to things.
That's correct, and we've been very, very fortunate over the 20 years I've been here. When I first got here, you couldn't hardly get anything, and now Amazon is all over the place. We have 2 facilities that you can ship anything from anywhere in the world to you, anything from a credit card up to a bicycle.
Right here on the island?
Right here on the island, yeah. There's two organizations that do that. It makes a world of difference. You also, if you go to the second largest city is David, and you're building a house, you go pick out your tile, you pick out anything that you need for the house, and you literally just give the receipt to a delivery person that exclusively comes here from David to here in a big truck over the mountains, comes up twice a week. And then there's the same thing in Panama City. You can get whatever you want to get, just leave the receipt there. The driver comes and picks it up and delivers it here. There's a ferry here. Everything we have on these islands comes through that ferry, from petrol to food to just about everything that's here. So that's made life a lot easier here. At first, like I said, 20 years ago, it was real rustic. And that's what I was looking for. But a lot of the other Caribbean islands were so developed, and the money was, and the cost was already, through the roof, and came here, and a dollar went a long way, and it's American dollar.
Yeah,
which it also was important to me, and still is. So, yeah, it's a big difference. A big difference.
It does make a big difference. And what about hurricanes?
Well, we're lucky there. We're very fortunate. We're too low in the latitudes to get a hurricane, and we're 7 and 9 degrees off of the equator, and you need to be, I think it's 10 degrees where the winds can start kicking up and everything. So we've been very fortunate, and that's a big plus for this area. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of boaters that come down here during hurricane season. Mm-hmm. They stay here. Then a lot of people are. The fact that we don't have hurricanes makes investing in properties, especially structures, a little bit more sound.
Yeah, definitely. This is crucial. Yeah. In terms of preservation of capital, your property isn't just going to fly away, which is the case in many of these Caribbean destinations, where every 5 years they get completely wiped out.
I have friends in Belize that this cringe every year that hurricane season is here. They're going, this could be the year. This could be the year.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That's not
but
fun.
Don't have to worry about that here.
Cool. So essentially, the way I like to see this place is you don't come here for rental income. I see this place as a good destination for capital preservation in a stable jurisdiction, and where you buy a piece of property that is prime and absolutely unique. It also offers a great plan B in terms of potential permanent residency here for the investor and his whole family. And if he moves here, then also it makes a big difference from a tax point of view if things are structured properly. And then the lifestyle is very comfortable. It's a lot more affordable than other Caribbean islands. There's a school, there's an airport that goes straight to Panama City here a few times a day, right?
3 times a day, and during season 4 times a day.
Great, so great connection. So you're not lost in the middle of nowhere.
Sometimes it feels that way.
Which is good, which is what a lot of people want, actually. And you have access to all the goods and services that you would want, essentially thanks to, you know, Amazon deliveries, etc. And even the town itself is a lot of cute shops, restaurants. It's not backwards at all.
There's an interesting point on this is you don't come down here to make money. I mean, like you said, you preserve your capital and everything else. It's all about lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's really it. There's an old saying, if you want to make $1 million in Bocas, bring 2. But as far as investment, as far as houses and things like that, you're going to live in the house, you know, or you're going to rent the room out to Airbnb or along those lines. So you're making lifestyle money.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn a $200,000 house into $1 million house, as I've seen happen in the States.
Yeah.
With people bidding things up.
Yeah.
During the day. So anyway, that's a very important part to understand here. A lot of people come down here and think that they're going to make some money doing whatever. I mean, believe me, everything's been tried.
Yeah.
And it's lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's all about
lifestyle
living
and
this
taxes.
way.
You make money by reducing your overall tax bill.
Oh yeah.
And having more freedom in the way you operate and you do things. This is how you make money here, essentially.
Yeah.
Is by playing that arbitrage. And
Yeah.
this is why I was very happy to meet JB and his team, because a lot of realtors, you meet them, they're trying to say, oh, it's great lifestyle and it's a great investment and you're going to make money and the rental yields are high. As soon as I started talking to JB about investment and rental yields, he didn't want to talk to me. He was like, no, we don't do investment properties. It's not, you don't come here for yield. We don't want to do this. We don't want to manage your property. You know, this is, you need to understand, this is lifestyle, and you come here for the taxes, the lifestyle. You need to understand this. So you weren't trying to like sell me nonsense.
No. It's all about, it's people that are coming down that stay here are going to be similar to you.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're gonna be on the same track that you're on as far as the lifestyle deal, and just you make up your mind that you're not gonna become wealthy down here, but you'll become wealthy in a lot of other ways.
Yeah. Or you'll become wealthier again thanks to the tax arbitrage. Like especially Canadians, if you do things properly, you can go from 40-50% taxes down to literally 0. So imagine being, for example, Canadian, and you're working in your $500,000 condo somewhere in Toronto. It's freezing outside. You're working on your laptop. The alternative is working from here. This is your view. Again, we're a bit unlucky today for the filming because typically this would be blue skies and like a Caribbean sea.
Correct.
And instead of paying 50% taxes in Toronto, you're paying, if you structure things properly, 0% taxes. So this is literally the type of lifestyle and tax arbitrage decisions that people can make and honestly should make. And this is what a place like this really, really offers.
That's correct. And you're right on target with that. You know.
Cool, fantastic. JB, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So now with JB, we're just gonna, there were dolphins down there you wanted to show us, so we're gonna go check out the dolphins.
Yeah, that's right.
We're gonna go for lunch, eat some fish, drink some beers. And if you want to get in touch with JB, there is his email below, and there is a link with more information on his services as well.
I appreciate that.
All right, cheers. You can go to my website, thewanderinginvestor.com, and sign up for the private list. All right. It's entirely free. This way you will be getting insider information as I travel around the world looking for opportunities. Lastly, feel free to follow me on Instagram at The Wandering Investor. I look forward to hearing from you.